Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Tracy's Tuesday Talks. I am your hostess, Tracy Latona of Golden Rose Financial Coaching, where I have the honor and opportunity of helping growth-minded people who are stressed and anxious about finances conquer their money goals. I am so excited to talk about this week's topic, how to destroy debt. Yes! No, I was not a cheerleader in high school, and I'm just now realizing how that came off. I am so passionate about this subject, and here's why. Guys, my husband and I have been in debt up to our eyeballs. I remember having to feed our family out of a change jar for a week because we had payments going out. We didn't have a plan. We didn't budget. We didn't communicate about finances. And I remember standing in the bank after the bank teller laughed at me when I said, "This is what I have to feed my family for a week," and just feeling that ice cold, just feeling just crushing internally into your chest, breaking out into a freezing sweat, and having hot rage rise into my cheeks. That is the effect that debt has on people, not only mentally and emotionally, psychologically, relationally. Debt is not a tool. Debt is destruction for financial freedom. I know those are really harsh words to hear for some people who love to use credit card points and whatever, but that's a topic for another day. I am here to walk you through how to get out of debt. What are the things that you need to have in place to get started before you start destroying debt? And what are some things to look out for while you're on this journey so you can stay motivated? And then once you are debt free, you stay the heck away from it and you don't go back and continue that vicious cycle. So, the first thing that you need to destroy debt is to have a super strong why. The what is to get out of debt. The what is it'd be nice to have financial freedom. What is the visceral emotional response that gets you fired up for this journey to become debt free? Is it because you are sick and tired of watching your hard earned dollars that you put blood, sweat, and tears in to get with an employer or a business to be sucked away by purchases that you made in the past? Is it because you want to travel or go see family more or be wildly and radically generous and be able to meet needs that you see around you, but you can't because you have debt payments? Finding that why is the number one step. You have to have a reason why you're doing this. Otherwise, this journey isn't going to last. The second step before you start paying off debt in a gazelle intense, super intense, passionate way is to have a little bit of cushion set aside into savings first. So that way, should something happen, like your alternator goes out, you blow a tire, your kid gets sick and you got to go to the doctor, or your house needs to have a plumber or an electrician come over for a major problem, or I should say, smaller problem. Hello, have had that happen before. That way, you don't go back into debt and borrow more money in those situations. Because on this journey, stuff is going to keep popping up, stuff is going to happen. And having money in the bank set aside for those things is going to help keep you on track, prevent you from going further into debt, and also help you keep up hope. Because if you go on this journey to get out of debt and you're having to keep borrowing for smaller stuff, then you're going to lose hope really quick. So what's a good amount to start with? A lot of people say $1,000 is a good mark. It is by no means supposed to be a fully funded emergency fund. It's just enough for a cushion. So that way you have money in the bank should you need to call the plumber to unclog your kitchen sink, or you have an electrical outlet that the wires are busted, or your alternator goes out on your car and you don't have to go further into debt. You don't have to borrow money to take care of those oh crap situations. Okay, so now that we have our why, now that we have $1,000 set away into an oh crap fund to provide cushion should the worst happen, and you need to use it. How is it possible to get out of debt and stay on track? The best method that I have found personally with my clients is called the debt snowball method. This is where we list out all of our debts from smallest amount owed to largest amount owed. We're not looking at interest payments. We're not looking at monthly minimum payments. We're not looking at those numbers that have to do with the debt other than the amount owed. Now, here's why we do that. Since money is 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge, we need to have quick wins that boost our dopamine levels, that excite us, that motivate us, that causes us to want to keep going. So when you list out your debts from smallest amount owed to largest amount owed, you are paying the minimums on everything. If you have a $589 car payment, like we did, and you were paying $600 a month, like we did, stop it. Pay the $589. Anything extra from your budget, from what you were throwing extra here and there at debt payments, put everything you can towards that smallest payment, the one at the front of the snowball. The reason why is because we are concentrating all of our additional resources into one goal, that smallest debt. If you have extra money and you put 10 bucks here, 20 bucks there, 40 or 50 bucks here, essentially what you're doing is you are taking the hose and putting it on mist and having it go into a bunch of different areas where it's not really being very effective. But if you take your resources, those extra dollars, and you streamline them into one goal, that smallest debt, you are fire hosing that thing, and that's going to be gone quick. When people pay off that first debt, they celebrate, they get that dopamine hit. It's like, yeah, baby, we paid off the debt. I have them physically cross off on a list what that debt is, so they can have an actual tangible response to getting rid of it. It's not just digital. And then you take everything that you had on that smallest debt and roll it over into the next one. So everything that you were paying on that first debt goes towards that second one on top of the minimum payment that you were already paying. Guys, by the time that you reach the third or fourth debt, you are going to be throwing big chunks of money at these debts, and it's just going to feel so good. It's going to feel amazing. And you're actually going to see the debt numbers go down when you do it this way. Now, things like the avalanche method, where you focus on interest rate higher, the highest interest rates first, logically, that might make sense to tackle those first because you're paying interest, getting rid of interest, and it might save you a couple dollars here. But that's when you're dealing with math and not behavior. I've found that people who tackle the interest rates higher first tend to get frustrated and lose hope because they're tackling that $10,000 car payment or car loan when they still have, 500 bucks here, 400 bucks here, that's still hanging on. So smallest amount owed to the largest amount owed is the most motivating way to make it happen. It'll help keep you on track because you're constantly getting those dopamine hits. Your brain is like, ooh, this feels good. I like it. I want more, which then in turn increases your motivation to stay on track. So let's talk about some things that make it difficult to stick to paying off debt. How do you stay motivated on this journey? On average, when people start the snowball method, it takes about 18 months, about a year and a half to get rid of debt. Now that's an average. Some people get rid of it in 3 or 6 months. Some people have hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt and it might take them a couple of years. But on average, it takes about a year and a half. So as far as staying motivated goes, have goals in mind, have celebrations and rewards built into your debt snowball um, payoff system. That can be a dollar amount, that can be percentages. So if you pay off $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, build in a reward system into that. So that way, when you pay off $5,000, we are going to treat ourselves to a $150 sushi dinner. It's going to be great. And then have that big goal. Like, I really want to take my spouse and my kids to Disney World. That can be your big goal that you save up for once you're debt free. And that can be your big reward that helps keep you motivated. So having systems and rewards built in to help that reward system keep you going. The next thing that I see is impulse shopping. Impulse shopping can be a real hurdle when it comes to having those additional resources to throw at debt. So if you have impulse shopping tendencies, and this happens a lot with people who tend to have ADHD or bipolar or have trauma, impulse shopping can really derail your plan for getting out of debt. So, how do you control impulse shopping? Taking a look at your patterns, realizing what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're doing, and what you want to do or what you're thinking about doing as you make that impulse purchase, and journaling on that and bringing those patterns to the surface can really help. Also, having that budget, having that structure allow for purchases can provide that cushion that's just enough structure and freedom within your budget to enjoy your income and still not be restrictive. So that way it's like, screw it, I'm starving, I'm getting McDonald's, that kind of thing. So, structure, patterns, as well as rewards and building in fun into your budget is going to help you stay on track. So, what do you do if you feel like you're a punching bag for Murphy? What do you do when it feels like no matter how hard you try, it's just one thing after another, after another, after another, after another? I've had clients like that. I've had clients who, when they sign up for the 6 months of coaching, it's just one thing after another. And it's literally nothing that is in their control, whether their kiddo gets sick or something happens and they have to move to be closer to family to care for parents, or it's just a bunch of little stuff that just keeps happening. What do you do then when you want to go on this journey to destroy debt, but it seems like life just keeps coming at you and you feel stuck? You feel like you don't have any hope. I want to encourage you. This is definitely a time for prayer. Work like it all depends on you and pray like it all depends on God is something that Dave Ramsey says often. Praying throughout this whole journey, no matter what your situation, is going to be awesome anyway, because everything that we have is God's anyway. We are just the stewards. So when you feel like you are a punching bag, I encourage you to surround yourself with people who can come alongside you and encourage you, who can pour into you, who can love on you, who can fill your cup, who can revitalize and re-energize you. And when you leave time with that person or that group of people, you're just like, okay, we can keep going. Because there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope. There is seasons of hardness. There is seasons of heartache, but they're not for forever. And I encourage you to keep your why in front of you, to keep prayer as the first weapon against life, and to build a community of supporters around you to help you on this journey. If you are looking for somebody to walk alongside of you in this journey, if you'd like some help, if you'd love some direction, some accountability, somebody to guide you through this process, Working with an accountability partner can help you pay off debt up to 5 times faster. 95% of people complete a job or a task or a goal if they consistently meet with an accountability partner. And if you would like some help on your financial journey, whether that's destroying debts, whether that's saving for a big purchase, whether that's, hey, I've noticed that my mindsets and my money don't really work well together. I need some help sorting all of that out. It would be an honor to have a complimentary financial coaching conversation with you. Click on the link in the description to schedule our time together, and we'll talk about where you're at, where you want to be, and how we can get you there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and share this on social media. Please share the word on how people can get out of debt and that freedom that comes with being debt free. Thanks so much, guys. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you next week.